Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Will Toole, going to broadcast Field of Dreams. We're going to give folks a couple of minutes to jump on from the Discord channel. This is kind of a surprise broadcast. Let me get settled in here. I think we're going to try to do a flawless broadcast for once. So if you guys could jump on, get settled in, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell anyone you think might be interested in paying attention to the Field of Dreams. We're going to get rolling here quite shortly. I'm just going to check a couple of things before we do. Well, I say I am. I say I am. I don't make a liar out of me. We'll just going to check a couple of things. Okie dokie. Before we do. There we go. So, I forget to start right off the bat by not sharing my screen. This is going to be a very interesting one. Apologies to one and all. Just a sec, as I say, bear with me. We will find the share screen button. As you can see we're going to get going here very certainly. Present, share screen, and we are going to share the entire screen. Indeed, we are. We are going to share everything to do with the screen, share the audio. Apologies once again, one and all. Every time I do these streams, there, you don't need to look at my ugly face today. So, with that, we're going to start rolling. Welcome to season 4 of the Field of Dreams. It's been a while since I broadcast. It's been a couple of 3 weeks. So, as you can see, we have on screen, it's May 8th of season 4. And we're going to run over the standings really quick and then do a couple of games and go from there. So, this Sunday afternoon, it's in real life, it is Sunday, July 6th, 7th, excuse me, 2024. So, with that, we're going to go through the standings really quick. For those who are new, the Field of Dreams is a great all-time greats league created by Steve Tate and Big Clue on the Discord stream on Discord. So it's a really wonderful league. We're in season 4. Everybody's very competitive. I say everybody except for my poor Hadley Lake team that is 7-21. But irrespective of that, we'll carry on. So, leading in the Earth Division, it would be the Hagerstown squad. They're 16-12, 2 games clear of Dallas. Liverpool, a perennial favorite, is also 2 games back, as is Long Island, which is 3 games out, and Manchester, which is 3.5 out, along with Philadelphia. The only team really out of the division race is Maplewood, who is 1 game worse than I am in all reality. So that's a very competitive division. We also, in the Win division, the D-Gens, by the one and only Mike Silva of Out of the Park Creation fame, is in first place at 20-6. He is tied with Lehigh, run by the aforementioned Steve Tate, and San Francisco is 1.5 games back. The rest of that division is spreading out a little more, so we will carry on. Next up, we have in the Fire division the amazing the amazing Fire division that is by far and away year after year the most competitive division of all. Tijuana at 17-10 is 0.5 game clear of Lancaster. Great to see Lancaster doing very well. Vegas is 1.5 games out, right on their heels. And Chicago, the reigning world champions, is 2 games out, along with Edmonton. And 4 games out is Florence, who is having their best season yet. So that's a very competitive district. Listen to me, division. In the water division, we have Mid Michigan ahead by 3.5 over St. Pete, and Marshfield. Amazing is 4.5 out. Brooklyn is 5 out, and Hadley Lake, for whatever reason, is 7-21 and 9.5 out. So we're going to jump right into play and see how things go. Probably the plan is going to be I was looking at the schedule a wee bit earlier and looking at some possible games to broadcast. I don't think we're going to broadcast anything from May 8th. My thoughts are probably broadcast a game from Thursday and possibly one from Friday of the week and try to carry through to May 15th. So, with that in mind, the first game on tap here to sim is St. Pete versus Florence. And in that contest, we have Florence laying a whooping on St. Pete 9-2. Lopat gets the win, Cueto the loss, and Ramirez got his fourth home run and a pair of doubles. Washington and Long Island are the next two teams battling, and it would appear Washington gets the win over Long Island to move to 8-23. Barajas gets the win, Sanchez the loss, and Posey went 4 for 4 with two doubles. Next up, it's Mid Michigan and Chicago. I had thought about that series, broadcasting something from that, but I think we're going to go a different direction. So, with that, let's sim this game. And it would appear Chicago gets the 5-0 win. Kovaleski, Harry Kovaleski, no, Stan Kovaleski. I believe Stan. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat, if you will. Uh, Dallas Keuchel moves to 0-4, which is quite a feat through 25 games. Nonetheless, Hendrick went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double to give Chicago the win. Now it's T-Ville and Manchester. In that contest, it is a slugfest, and T-Ville comes away with a win, 12-10. Jones the winner, Soto the loser. Ashburn went 4 for 6 with a pair of doubles and a stolen base. The Degens and Maplewood now we're going to square off, and that one goes another 12-10 slugfest. Something must be in the water in Maplewood because the Degens pounded out a 12-10 win. Joss gets the win. Schultz gets the loss. He is 1-8 somehow or other. Don't ask me how that happened, but it happened. Degens is on a 12-game winning streak and is 21-6. Marshfield and Edmonton, that would have been a good game to broadcast in a sense. Let's see what happens. And Edmonton comes away with the win. They move to 17-13. Tony gets the win. Quinn the loss. Keller went 2 for 3 with his 7th home run. Now the Hadley Lake squad, I'm tempted to just skip right over this, but it's not possible. So with that, indeed, wouldn't you know, Hadley Lake pulls out a 9-5 win. Hippo Vaughn gets the win to go to 2-2. Neff falls to 4-2, and White went 2 for 5 with 3 RBI and a triple. That must have been Frank White, the struggling second baseman for Hadley Lake. Next up, it's Lehigh and Hagerstown, another pair of quality squads. We'll see. And Lehigh comes away with the win. They're 22-7. Hagerstown is now 16-13. Kevin Brown picks up the win. Johan Santana drops the decision. Mays went 3 for 5. The late great Willie Mays, who picked up his 10th homer and 3 RBIs in that contest. Next, it is Cleveland and Liverpool, and Liverpool gets shut out by Cleveland. Walsh with the win, Shore with the loss. Shore, an old Hadley Lake hand who never actually got to pitch for the Hadley Lake Hammers, and actually maybe did slightly. Be that as it may, Castillo went 2 for 4 with his 7th homer and 2 RBIs. Dallas and Chicos. The mighty Chicos get the win. They by an 8-2 margin. That would be Haddix gets the win, Vance the loss. Lopez went 3 for 3 with a homer and 2 RBI. San Fran in Philadelphia. The win goes to San Fran, 5-1. Clemens with the win, 5-2. Scherzer falls to Schatzer falls to 1-2. Carlo, it went 3 for 5 with 2 RBI and a double. Amazing in Lancaster. The amazing Kitsunes lose to Lancaster. Epirixie picks up his fifth win. Hamels falls to 2-3. Blackman is 3 for 4. A fast start by Lancaster. Now it is Brooklyn in Vegas. The Brooklyn squad it loses to Vegas 10-9. Benz gets the win. Ross the loss. How do you like that? And Robinson 3 for 6 with 2 homers for 3 on the season and 4 RBIs. Moving right along to Tuesday, the 9th, we have Mid Michigan Chicago leading off the day. That win goes to Chicago, so they've taken 2 in that series. Hoyt with a win, Morton the loss, and Palmeiro went 1 for 2 with his second homer and 2 RBI on the season. Next up, it's T-ville in Manchester. The Manchester Red Bull Nation of 1 edges out a 3-2 victory as in a 14-inning game, Hoffman moves to 3-2, Dorish the loss, and Sisler, former Hadley Lake and former Manchester hand, went 2 for 5 with his second home run. Marshfield and Edmonton. The winner is Edmonton, 7-4. Burnham with the win. He's 3-4. Lemon the loss, 2-2. Butler went 3 for 4 with his second homer and 2 RBIs. St. Pete and Florence. The win goes to St. Pete, 8-0. And Davies gets the win. Rio the loss. Konerko went 3 for 4 with his 8th home run and 3 RBIs. Next up, we have San Francisco versus Philadelphia. And the win goes to Philadelphia. Rogers grabs it, moves to 3-3. Pfeffer falls to 3-2. And Zinniel went 3 for 4 with his 10th homer and 4 RBIs. Washington and Long Island do a battle, and Long Island bounces back with Porterfield with the win. Bannister, with the loss. He's 0-8. Some of these decisions you have to really wonder at here. And Porterfield went the distance on striking out 3. Let us see. On that, wow, I wonder if that was if you'll humor me a sec, that was indeed a 2-hitter, excuse me. So I thought it might have been a no-hitter, but it was a 2-hitter. Long Island gets the win. Now it's Degens and Maplewood squaring off. Degens falls to Maplewood 3-1. McMurray with the win. Arrieta the loss, and Stewart picks up his second save. Now it's Hadley Lake is going to be squaring off against Tijuana, and that falls. Hadley Lake drops a heartbreaker 2-1. Alexander's moves to 6-0. Crandall falls to 0-1. Dark went 2 for 4 with his second homer. Now Lehigh and Hagerstown will battle once again, and this one goes to Hagerstown 5-3. Roden with the win, Luque with the loss, Caminiti 3 for 4 with his 8th home run and a double. Now it's Cleveland traveling to Liverpool, and Liverpool edges it out. It's 3-4. 12-inning win for Kinder, who moves to 2-1. White falls to 3-4, and Donaldson went 2 for 4 with his 4th homer and a double. Dallas and Chicos. The Chicos get the 6-4 win. Walter Johnson picks it up. He's 5-2. Greg Maddux falls to 0-7. Holy cow. Some of these win-loss records are very curious, I must say. Bench is 2-4 went 2 for 4 with his 8th homer and 3 RBIs. Amazing in Lancaster. That one goes to Lancaster, edges out the Kitsunes. Russell with the win. Miller the loss. LeMahieu went 4 for 6 with a double. And the last game of Tuesday would be Brooklyn and Vegas. And the win goes to Brooklyn 2-1. Sutter with the win, Robertson the loss, and in 10 innings. And Yogi Berra went 1 for 4 with his fifth home run. Moving on to Wednesday, we have another full day of action. And I'm not just going to read these scores off. I'm going to let you guys know as we go that the first broadcast will actually be on Thursday, the first game that I'm going to call. So Mid Michigan, Chicago. The win goes to Chicago. They sweep Mid Michigan 6-2. Appier the win, Gibson the loss. Palmero cracks his third home run and 2 RBIs. T-Ville in Manchester. The win goes to Manchester 2-1. Harvey picks it up. Huff the loss. Roush went 3 for 3 with a double. Degens and Maplewood, the win goes to the Degens. They get back in the winning track. Felix the win, Perez the loss. Lejoie picks up his ninth home run. Marshfield and Edmonton, once again, this Edmonton with the sweep. Drysdale gets the win, his fifth. Denny the loss. DiMaggio went 2 for 4 with the seventh homer and 4 RBIs. Hadley Lake and Tijuana. Let's see what happens here. Wouldn't you know, Hadley Lake pulls out the win, 5-4. Finneran grabs the win. Chesbro the loss. Camilli went 2 for 4 with a pair of homers and 3 RBIs. Nice to see that if you're a Hadley Lake fan. If you're a Tijuana fan, not so much. Nonetheless, we move on to Lehigh and Hagerstown, and Hagerstown falls to Lehigh 7-2. Halliday with a win, Necro the loss, Bagwell 1 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Next up, it is Cleveland and Liverpool. Cleveland loses to Liverpool 5-2. Vandermeer with a win, Welsh the loss, Piazza 2 for 3 with his sixth homer and 2 RBIs. Florence and St. Pete. Florence gets the better of St. Pete in this one to pull to 500. They move. Sane gets the win. Wheelman the loss. Bonilla went 2 for 4 with a pair of homers, his fourth on the season, and 3 RBIs. Dallas and Chico's once again. Chico's drops a heartbreaker 1-0. Very good game, it would appear. Tannehill with a win. Bender the loss. Thorne went 2 for 4 with a double. That Bender would be former Hadley Lake pitcher Chief Bender. Now we have San Francisco versus Philadelphia, and San Fran muscles their way to a 12-6 win. Lanier with the win. Lee the loss. Cano went 3 for 6 with his sixth homer and 4 RBI. Brooklyn and Vegas, and we'll see what happens with this one. Vegas rebounds to beat Brooklyn. Hunter with a win for his fifth. Andujar with his fifth loss. Robinson went 2 for 4 with his fourth homer and 2 RBIs. Washington and Long Island will now play, and that win goes to Washington, who took up the better of the series, and the better they do, the better chance Hadley Lake has of getting a top draft pick. So we're certainly cheering for them in the Hadley Lake camp. Nonetheless, Rashi got the win, Smoltz the loss. Murray went 2 for 4 with his fourth homer and 2 RBI. Amazing in Lancaster, and the win goes to the Kitsunes, who salvaged the final game of the series. Hill got the win, Sabathia the loss. Kravis went 1 for 3 with his 11th homer and 3 RBIs. Now we're moving on to Thursday, and as we do, we know it's a short slate of games. We're not gonna play the Amazing in Edmonton, although that is certainly a tempting game. We'll let that one sim out. That is a win for Edmonton. They're 4 for 6. They've won 4 in a row, I believe, at least. Lee Smith was a win. Lee the loss. Smith went 3 for 3 with his 10th homer and 3 RBIs. Chicago and Marshfield. Was that the game? That may not be the game. No, actually, it's not the game that we were going to broadcast. I think the game we're going to broadcast is Mid-Michigan and Lancaster. Although I'm certainly tempted to show Marshfield. I haven't shown a Marshfield game yet. No, I think we'll go with Mid-Michigan Lancaster. Marshfield gets the loss. Chicago edges them out 5-4, 1-0. Branch moves to 1-0. Garcia falls to 2-3. Doby is 2 for 4 with his fourth homer and a triple. Florence and Hadley Lake, and wouldn't you know, Hadley Lake, it's nothing that I'm doing, but Hadley Lake got the win. McConnell moves to 1-1. Parnell falls to 1-4. And Frank White has actually got a couple more hits and a stolen base to put the Hadley Lake Hammers to 10-22. Certainly not a great, great start, but better than it was. Now we're skipping over Mid-Michigan and Lancaster and gonna do Brooklyn and Vegas, I believe. Brooklyn and Vegas. Vegas beats Brooklyn 7-1. Davenport moves to 4-2. Antonelli 0-4. Longoria went 2 for 4 with his fourth home run. Now we are going to head on down to the old ballpark in Lancaster. We're going to play this one out, and hopefully we're going to have a respectable ballpark to do it in. So let us see. We are going to play. We may play in Camden Yards. We may see if we can switch to their respective stadium. Here we go. We are going to load up the computer lineup, view the opponent, load their lineup, view the opponent, do that. And there we have the lineups. So it would appear they are playing at Minute Maid Park, I believe. I'm not sure where Lancaster plays. Whatever they play, just so that anyone watching this realizes their park effects, they're all set to the proper park. This just happens to be the image that loads in. So we are going to head on out to the ballpark and listen to the national anthem while I figure out where to go from here. And indeed, we are actually playing in Cleveland Stadium today. Welcome to Cleveland Stadium for tonight's game between Mid-Michigan and Lancaster. Jack Morris will start for Mid-Michigan. He's made 6 starts on the year and is 4-1 with an ERA of 1.71. It's his first start against Lancaster. He'll be opposed by Jim Scott for Lancaster. Scott's made 5 starts on the year and is 3-1 with an ERA of 2.61. It's his first start against Mid-Michigan. It's 72 degrees, a wind speed of 5 miles per hour, in from left center. And let's play ball. Now we have a perfectly good field setup here, but we're going to try to find Cleveland Municipal Stadium just because I have a thing about trying to have accurate park pictures. Not so much player pictures, but park pictures. We're going to see if I have a Cleveland Stadium kicking around. Cleveland Municipal Night. Where is it? There it is. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't, we'll go back to what we had. It does not. We're going to stick with what we had. So we'll just play as if we are in Camden Yards. Imagine that you're in Cleveland. It's not Camden Yards. So we'll just go from here. Leading off for the Mid-Michigan squad is the Mid-Michigan Thrillers, is Jose Altuve. He's batting .265 with a homer and 7 RBI on the season. And he awaits the pitch from Jim Scott, who will be tossing it to Joe Mauer, behind the plate. The pitch. And that ball is drilled out to the mound. Scott up with it and over to first, but Altuve beats it out, and he is aboard to start the game off. as Wade Boggs stands in for Mid-Michigan at 280 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. We'll quickly glance around the field and see who's playing where. In left, it's Zach Wheat. Center is Charlie Blackmon. Nicholson is in right for Lancaster. At third is Brooks Robinson. Sewell is at short. Davy Johnson is at second. And Bottomley is at first for the Lancaster Fighting Amish. Now, behind the plate, as we mentioned, is Joe Mauer, and on the hill is Jim Scott. Boggs gets ready. Scott comes set. The pitch. The runner is off. The pitch is a balk, indeed. It would appear a balk. So, just like that, Altuve can trot down to second. It's a 2-0 count with Boggs trying to drive a run home here. The pitch from Scott. That ball is lifted out to left. Wheat travels under it, makes the catch, and throws it back in as Altuve advances to third. Now up for Mid-Michigan is Barry Bonds, batting .240 with 6 homers and 19 RBI. Scott gets the sign from Mauer. The pitch. And that is a walk, it would appear. The ball was a shade outside, so runners at first and third with 1 down, and Jimmy Fox standing in. He's batting .255 with 9 homers and 25 RBI. The pitch from Scott. And that was a pitch out. Nothing was up. So a very shaky start for Scott as Fox steps back in and awaits the pitch. And that's a ball. That's strikeout number 1. That was a questionable call, but Scott rung him up nonetheless. And now we move on to Miguel Cabrera, batting .272 with 3 homers and 11 RBI. The pitch from Scott. And that ball is looped out to short. Sewell with a lunging grab to make the catch and end the inning. A golden opportunity for Mid-Michigan has gone by the wayside, and let's see if Lancaster can take advantage of it. Leading off for Lancaster will be Joe Mauer. That's an interesting choice to lead off. Nonetheless, he's batting .256, 2 homers, and 8 RBI. He'll be squaring off against Jack Morris, who's on the hill. Ivan Rodriguez is behind the plate. Surveying the rest of the field, we have Bonds in left for Mid-Michigan, Granderson in center, Evans in right. At third is Boggs, Trammell at short, Altuve at second, Cabrera at first. The pitch from Morris, he comes, and that ball is popped up, shallow center. Granderson trots under it and makes the catch for out number 1. Dispatching the batter, Joe Mauer. Now up, it's Joe Sewell. He's batting .236 with 2 homers and 9 RBI. Morris gets ready, gets a sign, fires it in, caught on and not missed. That's ball 4. It really was a check swing. He checked it on, and he's aboard with 1 down. Now up, we have Gabby Kravis, batting .245 with 11 homers and 32 RBIs. He's riding the 6-game hitting streak and can really do some damage, so Morris will have to be careful as he works. The pitch. That ball is slammed out to center field. Granderson back on it, but he's there to make the catch. The runner retreats to first base. Next up is Bill Nicholson, batting .343 with 5 homers and 11 RBI. Morris looks the runner back, gets the sign, and fires home. That ball is laced past Trammell into left field. The runner will take first and third with 2 men down. And up comes Charlie Blackmon, the center fielder for Lancaster, batting .301 with 2 homers and 14 RBIs. Morris is in a bit of a pickle here, so he's got to pay attention. The pitch. That ball is ball 4. So the second walk of the inning for Morris, and the bases are loaded, as Jim Bottomley stands in, batting .218 with 6 homers and 16 RBIs. The pitch from Morris. And that ball is shot back foul of the backstop. We'll do it all over again. And the count is 2-2 with 2 men out. Something's got to give here. The pitch from Morris. And that is count on and miss, strike 3. So both pitchers did have a struggle in the first inning, and both pitchers get out of it as we move on to the second. Now up comes Curtis Granderson, batting .211 with 3 homers and 11 RBI. He'll be facing Jim Scott. Scott works, and that ball is looped to first. Bottomley lunges and makes the grab for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down. Now it's Alan Trammell for Mid-Michigan. He's batting .500 with no homers or no RBIs. The pitch from Scott. That ball is looped over the head of Sewell and into left, so Trammell is aboard with 1 down. Next up, we have Dwight Dewey Evans batting .143 with 3 homers, 14 RBIs, trying to at least advance the runner. Evans will dig in. Scott comes set and fires. That ball is drilled up the middle into center field. It's carrying back, but Blackman flags it down and throws it back in for out number 2. Now we have Ivan Rodriguez batting .190 with a homer and a 10 RBI on the season. 2 men down, and Scott might be able to get out of it here with a little bit of quality pitching. The pitch to Rodriguez. The runner is off. The ball is looped back to the pitcher. Excellent throw and flipped to first for out number 3. So after 1.5, there's no score. Mid-Michigan and Lancaster. Now up for Lancaster, we have the number 7 hitter, Zach Wheat. The lefty is batting .321 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs. Morris gets the sign and fires. That ball is lifted high out to right, and it's carrying, but Evans flags it down for out number 1. He got a good jump on that and had it all the way. Next up, we have Brooks Robinson standing in. Robinson's batting .323 with 4 homers and 11 RBIs. Morris deals. And that ball is a shade outside. He'll take his base. That's Morris's 3rd walk on the day. I don't think either of these pitchers are going to last deep into the game, if you ask my opinion, which you didn't. But nonetheless, with that, Davey Johnson steps in, batting .310 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Morris gives a glance to first and works. That ball is popped up harmlessly into right. Evans trots under it, makes the catch, and the runner retreats to first. Now we have, back again to the top of the order, Joe Mauer, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Mauer fly to deep right center his first time up. The pitch from Morris. And that ball is scorched out to past Trammell and into left. Trammell could do nothing with it. He almost got there, but not quite. Runners at first and third. And now Morris is in something of a jam as the mighty Lancaster Fighting Amish stand in with Joe Sewell, pin their hopes on him. Sewell has worked a walk his last time up. The pitch here. That ball is drilled foul. So we'll do it all over again with a 2-2 count. The last time up, Sewell walked. Indeed, he did walk. The pitch. That ball is dribbled down to third. Boggs has it and wings it to second, where Altuve applies the tag for out number 3. So 2 innings in, both sides have had runners, but neither side has taken advantage. Now up it's Altuve, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He singled on the infield, beat out a grounder back to the pitcher Scott his first time up. Scott works now to Mauer, and that ball is dribbled and muffed out at first by Bottomley. He went for it, but it came up empty. And once again, that's error number 1 on Jim Bottomley. And once again, Altuve is aboard. So let's see what happens here with Boggs batting in the number 2 hole as Scott comes set. He glances to first and wings it over there, but the runner gets back safely. He's got a 74% chance of going, so you know something will be up here with a slash hitter like Boggs. The pitch. The runner is off, the throw is down, and the base is stolen for number 6 on the year for Altuve. And the count is 1-1 as Boggs tries to make something happen. His last time up was as a fly out to deep left, which advanced a runner. The pitch. That ball is drilled to Sewell, who fields it and fires to first for out number 1. Altuve holds at second as Barry Bonds stands in. He walked his last time up, and this is definitely a batter you want to be careful with if you're Jim Scott. The pitch, that ball is popped up to shallow center. Blackman comes in on it, makes the catch, but the runner scrambles for third and makes it there safely. Great catch by Blackman, but heads up base running by Altuve as Jimmy Fox will stand in at 0-1. Scott works. And that ball is blistered fair down the left field line and into the corner. A run will score. Fox will charge into second with his 5th double on the season. And Mid-Michigan has broken it open 1-0. Took a ringing double down the left field line. And it gets no easier as Miguel Cabrera stands in. He may be 0-1 on the day, but Jim Scott can't mess around here. The pitch. And that ball is looped to Sewell, who gloves it, fires the first to retire the side, but not before Jimmy Fox drills a double and brings the first run home for Mid-Michigan. After 2.5, it's 1-0 Mid-Michigan. Gabby Kravitz will stand in for Lancaster. He's 0-1 on the day. He'll face off against Morris, who's already thrown 50 pitches. And he flew out deep to deep center his first time up. The pitch to Kravitz. That ball is lifted out to left. Bonds is back on it. Makes a circus catch for out number 1. The Lancaster could not catch a break there. That's the 4th great play by Bonds on the season thus far. Now up it's Nicholson. He got a hit his first time up. He singled, if his memory serves. He singled to left. The pitch from Morris. And that ball is looped into right. Evans tosses it back in, but not before Nicholson reaches for his second hit of the day. Now up comes Blackman. He hasn't got a hit yet today, but he got on aboard his first time up. The pitch from Morris. That ball is over the head of Trammell and into left. And runners are aboard at first and second with 1 down. Jim Bottomley stands in as Lancaster is knocking at the door. If I were Bottomley, I'd be trying to lay 1 down here to put runners in scoring position. But we'll see what's in the cards. Morris gets the sign and works. That ball, forget about a bunt. That ball is lifted to center. Granderson will not catch it because it's over the wall to dead center. That ball just kept carrying. And Jim Bottomley says, forget about a bunt. Forget about advancing the runners. We're going to touch them all. Home run number 7, 380 feet, 3-run score. And just like that, Lancaster surges ahead 3-1. It gets no easier as Zach Wheat stands in, and you can tell Jack Morris wishes he had that one back. The pitch to Wheat. And that ball is looped into right. Another base hit. Zach Weed is aboard with only one man down. Brooks Robinson will stand in. There's a guy who can take the ball and put it in the stands. Morris is really struggling. He's already thrown 17 pitches today, trying to get on the same page with Ivan Rodriguez. The pitch. The throw to first is not in time. Weed is back, and he's more annoyed than anything else with that. The pitch to Robinson. And that ball is lifted out to center. Carrying out of the park. Brooks Robinson. Home run number 5. And just like that, the Lancaster Fighting Amish have put 2 big blasts on the board here in the third inning and scored 5 runs with only 1 out. Morris is just shell-shocked for Mid-Michigan as Johnson stands in. Batting 0 for 1. Morris needs to regain his composure here. He will not be long for this game, I don't think. And the pitch, and that ball is lifted out to left. Carrying. Bonds is back on it, and he makes the grab for out number 2 as Mid-Michigan finally retires their second batter of the inning. Now up it's Joe Mauer. He got a hit his last time up. I believe he got a single. He single, line to single between third and short. The pitch to Mauer. And that ball is looped to Altuve, who gloves and tosses to first for out number 3. But too little too late as Lancaster surged for 5 runs to move ahead 5-1. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat here so far. As we head to the 4th, Granderson will stand in. He's 0 for 1. Scott has been gifted a lead. We'll see what he can do with it. He hasn't exactly been the greatest on the hill either, but we'll see as the pitch comes in. And that is cut on and missed. Granderson jabbed at it. That's strikeout number 2 for Scott. Next up, we have Trammell rather. Alan Trammell looped a single to left his first time up between second and third and short. Scott comes set, looks in, fires, and that ball is looped down the line, and wouldn't you know, it's out of the park. As I said earlier, neither of these pitchers have been particularly solid, and Trammell just caught one and shot it on the line, down the left field line, into the bleacher seats for his first homer of the season. So it moves to 5-2, and they get one back. You can't get them all back at once if you're Mid-Michigan. So, but you got a chance right here with Dwight Evans to get something, continue the momentum. Scott looks in, comes set, and fires. And that ball is a web gem at third. What a play by Brooks Robinson. He went back on it, caught the ball midair, and fired it out to first off balance for his 5th great play of the season. That's the second out of the inning as Pudge Rodriguez stands in 0 for 1 on the day. Scott works. And that ball is shot into right, shot up the middle past the diving Sewell, and Rodriguez is aboard. Not the most inspiring inning if you're the Lancaster squad. You wanted a quick shutdown inning. You didn't get it. And now you're back to Jose Altuve at the top of the order, who has grounded to first his last time up, but his second was 1 for 2. He singled his first time up and reached on an error his last time up. I don't know about the scoring on that. Nonetheless, here's the pitch. And Altuve drills one over the head of Sewell and into the gap. The runner will hit third and come home. And Altuve hits a ringing double into the gap. So it's 5-3 Lancaster. And it gets no easier with Wade Boggs, who's 0 for 2, but it's Wade Boggs. Scott will fire. And that ball is shot into center, and another run scores. Just like that, we have ourselves a game, and it is 5-4 as Barry Bonds stands in. The managers have to be disgusted with both of these pitchers. Scott will come set in the pitch. That ball is lifted down the line and foul. It'll make the seats. So we'll do it all over again at 1-2. Scott works, the runner aboard, and that ball is popped sky high behind second, and it's caught out there by Davy Johnson, but not before Mid-Michigan grabs 3 runs to pull within 1. Morris is back out there. He's going to face off against Sewell, who's 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch, actually, they're going to go, and they're going to bring in Fritz Crum, who is on the season 0 for 1, or 0-1 in 11 innings, the 386 ERA. He's allowed 13 hits, a walk, and a strikeout, an unearned run, rather, 6 walks and 4 strikeouts. The pitch from Crum, and that ball hits the outside corner for strike 3. He will now face Kravitz, who's got a 6-gamer going. He's 0 for 2 so far as Kravitz, but the way hits and runs have been coming, he's bound to get one. The pitch from Crum. And that ball is right back to Crum, over to first for out number 2. Nicholson stands in. He's 2 for 2. He's got a pair of singles on the day. 356 with 5 homers and 11 RBI. The pitch. And there is hit number 3. It's just over the head of Trammell. And he's had himself a day, has Bill Nicholson, as the tough out Charlie Blackman stands in at 1 for 1. The pitch from Crum. And that ball is also looped into center. The runner, but it's caught though. It's caught out there. Granderson flagged it down. Made a lunging grab, an all-out dive for his 10th grade play of the season. And Mid-Michigan got what they needed in a shutdown inning. As we head to the 5th, 5-4, Scott will take the hill against Jimmy Fox, who you will recall last time up clubbed a double to drive in a run for the Mid-Michigan's first run of the day. Scott works, and that ball is lifted out to center. Blackman comes in on it, makes the grab for out number 1. Cabrera stands in. He's 0 for 2. The pitch from Scott. That ball is looped to first. Bottomley has it, takes it to the bag himself for out number 2. Granderson will stand in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. The pitch to him. And that one is shot right back to Scott, who fires to first to get a much-needed 1-2-3 inning, as Bottomley will stand in for Lancaster against Crum. Now, Bottomley has 3 RBIs on the day. As you will recall, he clubbed a 3-run home run. He clubbed a 3-run home run in the 3rd to right center to put Lancaster ahead. Crum works to Rodriguez. The pitch. That ball is a bounder to short. Trammell throws it wayward to first, and it was going to be called. It's an error on Trammell, a rare error, and sails into the dugout. So that puts Bottomley at second. Zach Wheat standing in. He's 1 for 2. He got a hit his last time up, singling between first and second. Here we go, the pitch. And that ball is bunted out in front of the plate. Wheat sacrifices himself as Bottomley moves to third. Now up is Brooks Robinson, who his last time up smacked a 2-run home run to dead center, and it was dead center. Let's see what he can do against Crum, or if he'll even face Crum. The pitch. That one is looped out behind second, and a base hit over the head of Altuve. Robinson reaches to drive in the 6th run of the day for Lancaster. And now it's up to Davy Johnson to keep the inning, not keep the inning going, continue the inning rather. Johnson stands in. He's 0 for 2. Crum works. He's got to be careful here. And that ball is lifted down the line into the corner and caught on the line. Caught on the line on a lunging basket catch into the stands, I should say. And what a play by Barry Bonds, who makes the grab for out number 2. Now up, we have Joe Mauer for his 4th time on the day. See what he can do. And he shoots one into center for a base hit. He'll move to first, and the runner Robinson will dive into third to have runners at the corners with 2 down. Sewell stands in. He's 0 for 2 as Crum comes set. The pitch. That ball is looped over the head of Altuve and into shallow right. So just like that, Sewell comes up with a much-needed base hit to put the 7th run across the plate. Now it's Gabby Kravitz, and Crum may be short for this contest here today. The pitch from Kravitz. And that ball is called strike 3 to get out of the inning, but not before 2 runs come across for Lancaster. Scott has once again been gifted a huge lead. He will face Alan Trammell, who last time up roped a line drive home run to left. The pitch from Scott. And that ball's right back up the chute. Sewell ranges over, fires to first for out number 1. Evans stands in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Scott works. That ball is lifted into right center, and it is into the gap. It'll get down. The center fielder will toss it back in, Will Blackman, and Evans stands aboard at second base with his second triple. I think it's his second double, rather. And Ivan Rodriguez will stand in. He's 0 for 1, got a single his last time up. Scott looks in, gets a sign from Mauer. Evans is leading off. The pitch. Caught on and missed, strike 3 for out number 2. As we're back to the top of the order, and Jose Altuve, who last time up singled a double off the wall to bring home Rodriguez. So he's 2 for 3 on the day. He's got a homer and 8 RBIs. Scott works. That ball is shot to Sewell, gloves and tosses to first for out number 3. After 5.5, it's 7-4. Lancaster over Mid-Michigan. Nicholson stands in. He's 3 for 3 today, and he'll be facing Crum, or maybe he won't be. We'll see. Indeed, he will be. And that ball is lifted out to right, carrying, and it is off of the wall. What a play. Double number 3, Bill Nicholson. Got his 4th hit of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter who Mid-Michigan throws at him. Now it's Charlie Blackman standing in. Blackman's 1 for 2. His last time up was a liner to center. He got a line single but in the 3rd inning and walked his first time up. A very productive day for Blackman, and a hit here will surely bring home a run. Crum works. That was a pickoff attempt, I believe. Came to nothing. The pitch. That ball is out over the head of Trammell, and a run trots home So it's now 8-4, and Charlie Blackman with a seeing-eye single out over the shortstop's head. Next up, it's Jim Bottomley, who's 2-for-4 with 2-for-3 with 3 RBIs on the day. Crum pitches. And that ball is ball 4. So just like that, Crum is in a bit of distress. He hasn't pitched particularly well, but they're going to go to the bullpen and bring in John Henry Johnson, who has a lofty ERA of 7.88 on the young season. He has thrown 8 full innings. This is not what you want to see if you're Mid-Michigan, but Lancaster is rejoicing on this one. Wheat stands in at 1-for-2. The pitch from John Henry, and that ball is cut on and missed. Strike 3, out number 1. Next up, it'll be Brooks Robinson, who's already pounded a 2-run homer and driven in 3 on the day. The pitch from John Henry Johnson. That ball is popped up behind the plate. Rodriguez catches it for out number 2. And if you don't need any more evidence that baseball is a funny little game, you're seeing it here with the pitching of John Henry Johnson, who has not had a particularly good season. The pitch to Davy Johnson, who's 0-3, and that ball is out and over the plate for strike number 3. Johnson gets out of the jam, and Lancaster will content themselves with an 8-4 lead. Now up, it's Wade Boggs batting .281 with 2 homers, 7 RBIs. He'll face Jim Scott, who's kind of settled in a little bit. Not what you'd call great pitching, but he's managed to hang on to a lead. The pitch from Scott. That ball is ball 4, just a shade outside. The broadcaster jinx is in full effect here as Boggs draws a walk. Now up, we have Barry Bonds batting .236 with 6 homers and 19 RBIs. He's 0-for-2 on the day, but certainly could strike while the iron is hot here in the 7th inning and make this a little more interesting. The pitch from Scott. Cut on and miss, strike 3. That's his 4th on the day. Now we'll see Jimmy Fox come in. He's got a hit. He drove in a run earlier today on a ringing double. The pitch from Scott. And that ball is deep down the line and out of the ballpark. Home run, Jimmy Fox, number 10 on the season, 8-6. Hold the phone. Mid-Michigan is coming back, and Jim Scott collapsed there, I would say. That was a line drive down the left field line, and it just did stay fair, but it was good enough for a home run as Miguel Cabrera stands in. He's 0-for-3. Scott works, and that ball is blistered into the right field corner, and what a bad play out there by Richardson. He muffs it around, and Cabrera will sail into second with his 10th double. Now up, we have Granderson, who's 0-for-3, and he's going to be facing Wolfgang. The pitch to Granderson. And that is, what is it? Strike 3, delayed call. So that's out number 2. Wolfgang on the season is 208 pitcher in 4 1/3 innings. So hopefully he can put out the fire if you're a Lancaster fan. He definitely doesn't want to see Alan Trammell coming to the plate. Trammell is grounded to short, hit a solo homer, and singled. So a home run here will tie the game up. A single will certainly make it really interesting. Trammell awaits the pitch. That ball is dribbled out to short. Sewell up with it. And he's just going to put it in his pocket. His Trammell is aboard. The agony continues for Lancaster pitching as Dwight Evans stands in. Now, Dwight has a hit. He singled his last time up, or doubled rather. The pitch here from Wolfgang. And he got hit by a pitch. So just like that, the bases are loaded. And Ivan Rodriguez will stand in. Not a guy you really want to see. There are no easy outs in any of these lineups in the Field of Dreams. But Wolfgang needs to regain his composure and try to get an out here. The pitch. That ball is lifted out to left, and it is caught on the line. Gets out of a bases-loaded jam. Does Wolfgang in Lancaster as we head to the bottom of the seventh. And there we have it. Just as an aside, we are indeed churning through the Field of Dreams Season 4. And as we go through Season 4, right now in the Gridiron Dreams Football League, the draft is in full swing. So for those who are members of the Football League, the Gridiron Dreams, keep posted to the Discord because your number may be called sooner rather than later. As with that public service announcement, we now move back to action on the field with Joe Henry Johnson facing Joe Mauer, who's 2 for 4 for Lancaster. 2 for 4 on the day is Mauer he's got 2 homers and 8 RBI on the season. Last time up, he lined a single. He grounded out to second the previous time up and got a single between second and third in the second inning. The pitch to Johnson. And that ball hits the target for strikeout number 3 on the part of Johnson. And Johnson is actually pitching very well when his season stats would indicate otherwise. Now up it's Joe Sewell, who drove in a run his last time up on a single. The pitch to him from Johnson. And that ball misses the zone for walk number 2 on the day. Sewell is aboard. Travis is 0 for 4. He's still looking to extend that hitting streak. He's the pitch to him from Johnson. And that ball is blistered into the corner, and he certainly will extend it. That's going to be a double as the runners are at second and third. Number 6 for Gabby Travis. And Nicholson will stand in. He's got 4 hits on the day. You name it, he's done it. We'll have a look at his line here. He's doubled, singled. He's doubled and singled. He's doubled once and singled 3 times. The pitch here from Johnson. And that ball hits the plate for number 4, strikeout for Johnson. So it won't be a perfect day for the batter, but now it will not be a perfect day for Nicholson. But Blackman could possibly get his 3rd hit here to drive in a pair if Johnson isn't careful. The pitch. And they're just going to walk him, and indeed he was careful. Now if it's Jim Bottomley, he's driven in 3 on the day and is 2 for 3. The pitch from they're going to talk it over. Now the pitch from Johnson. And that ball is looped over there to Trammell. A run will score. 2 runs will come home. And hit number 3 on the day for Jim Bottomley, who came up huge to put Lancaster up 10 to 6. Now it's Zach Weed, who's 1 for 3. Johnson works. And that ball lifted out to left. Bonds tracks back on it and makes the catch for out number 3, but not before 2 more runs come across. As we head to the 8th, it's 10-6 Lancaster. Wolfgang will face off against Altuve. The pitch to him. That ball is blistered into right or left, past the dive of Sewell, and Altuve is aboard. The beat goes on, it would seem. Now up it's Wade Boggs batting 1 for 3. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Wolfgang is going to stand in. Boggs walked his last time up in the last inning. As the pitch to Boggs. And that ball is ball 4. So he's worked 2 late inning walks. Wolfgang is in something of a jam with nobody out. Bond stands in 0 for 3. They're going to be careful here, I would think. Or maybe not. That ball's lifted out to right, but it's harmless. Nicholson flags it down for the first out of the inning. That's a big one. As Jimmy Fox stands in, he's got a homer and 3 RBIs on the day. The pitch to from Wolfgang. And that ball misses its mark, but he swung anyway, did Fox, and that's strikeout number 2. So 2 men down with runners on first and second as Miguel Cabrera gets ready. He's 1 for 4 on the day, and the pitch from Wolfgang. That ball is lifted down the right field line into the corner. Nicholson ranges over and makes the snag for out number 3. After 7.5, we have a score of 10-6. Next up, we have Brooks Robinson on the hill. Or not on the hill, rather. Johnson is on the hill. Brooks Robinson is at bat. He's driven in 3 runs on the day and struck a home run earlier. Johnson comes set to face Brooks. And that ball misses its mark. Robinson trots down to first for the leadoff walk. Not what you want to see if you're mid-Michigan trying to dig out of a hole. Davey Johnson comes in. He's 0 for 4, facing his counterpart, John Henry Johnson, a 2-hopper to third. Boggs up with it to second for 1, but not in time to get the runner at first. Now Joe Mauer getting his 6th at bat on the day. He's got 2 hits, batting .265 with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. The pitch from John Henry. And that ball is hit to John Henry, but he flubs it, and just like that, Mauer is aboard. He rushed the throw and could do nothing with it, really. So we have runners at first and second with Joe Sewell standing in. Sewell, like many of his counterparts for Lancaster, has got a hit today and driven in a run. The pitch. That ball is a 3-hopper to first, over to second for 1, back to first, but not in time. Gabby Kravis will stand in. He's 1 for 5. With 2 men down, there's runners at first and third. The pitch from Johnson. Well, they're going to the bullpen. Not a bad idea. Will Harris will come in. He's got an 0.93 ERA and is 2-0 in 9 innings of work. The pitch from Harris. And that ball is lifted high and deep to center. It's back there. Granderson makes a diving catch into the wall. Maybe hurt his shoulder on it, but he's back up and ready to go. So what a play by Granderson as we head to the top of the 9th and the last chance for Mid-Michigan. Wolfgang will take the hill once again as Granderson steps into the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. The pitch. And that's cut on and missed, strike 3. That's his 3rd strikeout, out number 1. Now Alan Trammell will stand in. He's got 3 hits on the day and a home run as well. Mid-Michigan can't lay this loss at his feet, if indeed it is going to be a loss. If it's going to be a win, Trammell will have to keep it going. The pitch. That ball is right back to Wolfgang, who tosses over to first for out number 2. Now it's all up to Dwight Evans, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Now let's see what he can do. Wolfgang gets the sign. They're going to do a pinch hitter. Miller comes in. That ball is out to second and over to first. And just like that, it's in the books. The Fighting Amish get the win 10-6. We will have a look at the box score and try to figure out who the player of the game will be. Certainly, there was a lot of action in it. 28 hits between the two teams, 16 runs as well. Lancaster came away with the victory, 10-6. The winner is Moritz got the loss. Scott got the win to move to 4-0. Bottomley went 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs. Holy cow. Jim Bottomley, sign that guy to an extension. If you are Lancaster, sign that guy to an extension. And if I had to guess, I'd say he was probably player of the game. We're going to check. We're going to check here. We may check. I say we'll check. Well, it doesn't seem to be coming forward. There it goes. Jim Bottomley, player of the game. So just like that, we have played through all of the games on Thursday. Excuse me for being a little scatterbrained. I'm surprised I have not made more gaffes than I have. It is May 12th. We are headed into Friday, May 12th. I think we're going to see what we can see. We have a game here between Lancaster and Hagerstown. Listen to me. Lancaster, I got Lancaster on the mind. Excuse me. Hagerstown and Teeville. Now we're going to take a few seconds break. I will be right back. I got to get a drink. I got to get a bottle of water to ease my thirsty lips, but I will come back and broadcast another contest here shortly. Stay tuned. Apologies for that, everybody. I am back. One of the cardinal rules of broadcasting is you keep a bottle of water nearby. Unfortunately, I did not. So we will carry on with our second game of our doubleheader. We are going to only do 2 today. Probably we'll play out this game between Hagerstown and Teeville. Let me see. For those, just as an aside, everything is moving along relatively quickly here. We're on May 12th, 2017, season 4. So I think we are going to play this game between Hagerstown and T-ville. Just because we should have a team from the other league. Let's play that out. These two are over 500, so we'll do that. They're pretty much only one game separating them. We'll play that and then finish out this day and go from there. Let's see. Ooh, we're playing at Yankee Stadium. All right, sounds like a plan. As long as and when I say we're playing at Yankee Stadium, that's whatever photo comes up for my game. They're not actually, well, they may be at Yankee Stadium. We will see. Where are they actually at? I have no clue where they are. So, that being said, we will go computer lineup, other team, computer lineup. Yep, there we go. View opponent. Computer lineup. There we are. Let us head down to the ballpark for T-ville and Hagerstown. And we are indeed at Yankee Stadium, so we're going to stick with the Yankee Stadium file I have cooking here. We are, excuse me a moment, I was just looking at the Field of Dreams, the Gridiron Dreams. It seems the draft is taking on new urgency amongst folks, so I was just looking to see who got picked. Apologies for that. If anyone is watching this and you're in the Gridiron Dreams League, just note that the draft is moving fast and furious, so stick close to your phone and stick close to Discord. With that PSA out of the way, welcome to Yankee Stadium for tonight's game between Hagerstown and T-ville. David Price will start for Hagerstown. He's made 7 starts on the year and is 4-0 with an ERA of .357. His first start against T-ville. He'll be opposed by Billy Pierce and Price, lovely, for T-ville. Pierce has made 7 starts on the year and is 3-2 with an ERA of .431. It's his first start against Hagerstown. It's 74 degrees and we have light rain. Okay, well, that makes it interesting. That's about what it is here in down East Maine, if you want to know the truth of it. So with that, we are going to stand in. We're going to see some good old-fashioned baseball. Honus Wagner is leading off for who is leading off for who? Oh, Hagerstown. Excuse me. Brain freeze there. Honus Wagner is leading off for T-ville. Honus Wagner is leading off for Hagerstown. There we go. He's batting .308 with 4 homers and 7 RBIs. In the field for the T-ville squad, I hate it when these teams are similar colors on my screen. We have Pierce on the hill, Lawler behind the plate. Babe Ruth is in left. Richie Ashburn's in center. Lou Brock is in right. Ron Santo at third. Ernie Banks at short. Roberto Alomar at second. And Lou Gehrig at first. This is going to be a tough team, this T-ville team. The pitch from Pierce to Wagner. And that ball is lifted up behind the plate. Lawler comes back and makes the grab after leaning into the stands for out number 1. So we start the game off with a great play by Sherm Lawler. Now up facing off is Bill Madlock batting .321 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Pierce delivers. That ball is blistered into left, and that's a bad play out there by the Babe. You'll overlook his defense for his bat, but still that doesn't help in this situation. Bill Matlock is at second with his third triple of the year. Now up is Jim Morrison batting .412 with 4 RBI. Pierce delivers. That ball is lifted out to right. It's carrying. Brock is there, though, and he'll make the grab for out number 2. The throw to third as Matlock advances, and he is gunned down. A bang-bang double play. What an ill-advised move it was. What a base-running error by Hagerstown. That was an absolute seed out there from the right fielder. Now we have David Price pitching. This is really going to be difficult. If I don't flub this up today, apologies. So we have David Price pitching for T-ville, and he will be leading off. He'll be facing Richie Ashburn, who's batting .287 with no homers and 10 RBIs. Behind the plate, we have Tony Pena, I believe. I'm going to confirm that. I believe that's Tony Pena, yes. Lacey is in left. Mantle is in center. Aaron is in right. Morrison is at third. Wagner is at short. Pedroia is at second. Konechny is at first. And as mentioned before, Pena is behind the plate. The pitch from Price. That ball is drilled out to Pedroia, who's right there, and Gloves fires to first for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down as Roberto Alomar stands in. He's batting .280 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs. Price delivers. That ball is scorched, but Wagner has it, flings to first for out number 2. He showed some leather there. That's his 12th great play of the season, and it's only May. Now up comes Ernie Banks, batting .230 with 7 homers, 28 RBIs. The pitch from Price. And that ball, this is the zone, and Banks is aboard with 2 down. Facing the Babe Ruth coming up fourth. He's got 13 homers and 24 RBIs, batting .238. The pitch from Price. And that ball buzzes the zone, but not quite where it should have been. That's ball 4 for 2 consecutive walks by Price. And Lou Gehrig will stand in at .209 with 4 homers and 19 RBIs. This is not a situation you want to be in if you're David Price. The pitch comes over, and that's strike 3. He got his man to end the inning as we head to the top of the second. No score. And Pierce will take the hill for Pierce is going to take the hill once again. Leading off the inning is Mickey Mantle. He'll stand in. He's batting .276 with 8 homers and 16 RBIs. The pitch. That ball is shot into center field. It'll drop down in front of Ashburn, and Mantle is aboard. Just like that. Now up we have for T-ville. Where am I here? There I am. For Hagerstown, we now have Hank Aaron batting. He's batting .206 with 2 homers and 14 RBI. The pitch from Pierce. That ball is bounded out to second. Roberto Alomar up with it, throws to short for 1. Back to first and doubles up Hank Aaron. A big moment there for Billy Pierce as Konechny will stand in for Hagerstown. He's batting .381 with no homers and 1 RBI. The pitch from Pierce. That ball is lifted out to center field, carrying. Ashburn is back on it. He'll make the catch for out number 3. After 1.5, it is 0-0. David Price takes the hill for Hagerstown as Ron Santos steps in for T-ville. Santo is batting .261 with 6 homers, 20 RBIs. The pitch. That ball is shot past out to Wagner. Good luck getting him out. Getting one by him. And he just fires it over to first for out number 1. Next up, we have Billy Williams batting .225 with 5 homers, 12 RBIs. The pitch from Price. That ball is lifted out to right, down the line and deep. It's back, and it's out of the park. Billy Williams puts it over the short porch and right to give the T-ville Bears the lead. He really exploited that right field wall, and T-ville is up 1-0 with Sherm Lawler standing in. Price is disgusted with himself as the pitch comes in, but he responds instantly with a strikeout for strikeout number 2. Now up we have the 9th man, Lou Brock. He's batting .146 with a homer and 2 RBI. The pitch from Price. That ball is lifted deep down the right field line, but it'll be caught in the corner for out number 3. So after 2, it's 1-0 T-ville over Hagerstown. Now Pierce has been staked to a lead, as we mentioned, and he'll be facing off against Dustin Pedroia, who on the season is .195 with 2 homers and 15 RBIs. The pitch from Pierce. That ball is shot into right. It'll be caught out there by Lou Brock, who had it lined up perfectly for out number 1. Tony Pena will stand in. He's batting .045. No homers, no RBIs. Pierce works. And wouldn't you know, that ball's right out to Ernie Banks on a 2-hop, and Burns plants and fires to first for out number 2. Next up comes Lee Lacey. He's batting .167 with 1 RBI. The pitch from Pierce. And that's a shot up over the second base bag. Alomar couldn't get there. Ernie Banks couldn't get there. A rare bad play by him. But Lacey is aboard with a base hit. And we're back to the top of the order for Hagerstown with Honus Wagner, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Pierce comes set. That ball is blistered to Banks, and he snares it on a shoestring catch for out number 3. What a play for Banks, who gave a hit and took one away all in the same inning. After 2.5, it is 1-0 T-ville. Ashburn stands in. He's 0 for 1, batting .286 with 10 RBIs. The pitch from Price. That ball is dribbled out to second. Pedroia is up with it, but he can't make a play. And Ashburn is at first safely. He probably would have beat that out anyway, but Pedroia couldn't get the handle, so it'll go down as an error. Now up is Alomar. He's 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch from Price. And that's right out in front of the plate on a bunt. Price comes off the mound, gloves it, fires to first for out number 1. Ashburn will take second. Ernie Banks will stand in. He earned the walk earlier, so this may well be his first official at-bat of the day, depending on what transpires. Price works. That ball is shot out to left, towering shot out behind third, and Morrison comes away with it for out number 2. Now up comes Babe Ruth, the mighty Babe Ruth, who's only batting .239 on the season. He got a hit. He walked earlier. He's got 13 homers and 24 RBI. The pitch from Price. And that ball is laced to third, where it is caught on a lunging catch. And we will head to the top of the 4th inning, I believe. This game is moving right along. Compared to the last game, any game can move along. Billy Pierce is back on the hill for T-ville as Matlock stands in. Matlock is 1 for 1 on the day. The pitch. Make that 2 for 2 as he sends it past the dive of Banks and into left field. So just like that, they have a runner aboard the top of the fourth inning, and Jim Morrison standing in at 389 does Hagerstown. Pierce comes set, looks the runner back, fires homeward, and that ball hits the mark for strikeout number 1. Now it'll be Mickey Mantle who got aboard his last time up. He singled the center in the second inning. The pitch to Mantle. And that ball nicks the outside corner for strikeout number 2. Now it gets no easier as Hank Aaron stands in. He's 0 for 1, batting .203. He has got 2 homers and 14 RBIs, however. The pitch from Pierce. And that ball is called strike. I don't know what happened there, but it's called a strike. We will see a 2-2 count come homeward. The pitch. That ball is drilled to Banks, and he makes yet another sensational play. He's been on fire today defensively. He's got 2 great plays through the first 4 innings. So that threat goes by the board, and we head to the bottom of the 4th with another legend, Lou Gehrig, standing in, batting .207 with 4 homers, 19 RBIs. Price comes set and fires. That ball is shot right back to him, and he'll flip to first for out number 1. Now it's Ron Santo, who's 0 for 1 on the day. The lefty digs in. Price comes set. That ball misses for ball 4, and Santo makes his way to first for the 3rd walk of the day by Price. Now it's Billy Williams, the hero thus far, batting .232. He picked up his 6th home run earlier, and he has 13 RBIs. The pitch from Price. That ball is lifted out to left, carrying back. Lacey gets on it, and he makes the grab for out number 2 as the runner retreats to first. 2 down for Sherm Lawler, who's batting 0 for 1 on the day. Price with the delivery. That ball is trickled out ahead of the plate. Nobody can do anything with it. But indeed, on a bang-bang play, Alomar tossed, or not Alomar, the second baseman rather, tossed and got his man to retire the side. Now up for Hagerstown to lead off the 5th is Ed Konechny. He's batting .364 with 1 RBI. Pierce comes set with the delivery and fires. That ball is lifted out to center field. Ashburn ranges over and makes the catch for out number 1. Now it's Dustin Pedroia, who's 0 for 1. The pitch to him. And that ball is right on the outside corner for strike 3 and strikeout number 3. Now it's the hapless Tony Pena, who's 0 for 1 and batting .043 on the season. The pitch from Pierce. And that's strikeout number 4. So just like that, that's all she wrote in the 5th for Hagerstown as we head to the bottom half and the T-Ville Bears with Lou Brock leading off. He's 0 for 1. He'll face Price. Price comes set and fires. And that is right on the black, strike 3. He struck him out. Richie Ashburn stands in at 0 for 2. The pitch from him. And that ball is out over the head of Wagner. And wouldn't you know, that's a rare hit. Only the second hit of the day, and Richie Ashburn is aboard with 1 man down. Alomar stands in. We'll see what he can do against Price. The throw to first. The runner bounces, gets back to first, does Ashburn, and we'll do it all over again. The pitch. That ball is scorched over the head of Wagner and into left. 2 men on with 1 man out. They might have a little something going here as Ernie Banks stands in. A bunt here would be a golden opportunity. as they're trying to crack the safe of David Price. The pitch. That ball is lifted out to left. Lazy fly to Lacey, and he'll grab it for out number 2 as the runner advances on an ill-advised advance. Nonetheless, it was an advance, and Ashburn made his way to third. Now it's Babe Ruth is coming up with runners at the corners and 2 men down. The pitch. And that ball is gone. Forget about it. Babe Ruth victimizes Hagerstown for a 3-run line drive, no doubt about it, home run. Just like that, Hagerstown is down 4-0, and a base running, what could have been an end of the inning, head scratch out by Richie Ashburn. Ashburn was called safe, and Ruth made him pay. That's why you let the batter hit. Now up, now David Price will be facing Lou Gehrig. The pitch. That one's pelted out to left and deep. Back. And out at the track. That one had no more room to go. So very loud out. So Hagerstown will feel confident, or fortunate rather, to get out of the 5th, but not before Babe Ruth sends them down by 4 runs. But they'll try to pick up the pieces here against Billy Pierce as Eddie Lacey stands in, batting 1 for 1 on the day. Lee Lacey, excuse me. The pitch. That ball is shot out there to Banks, who has made his 3rd great play of the day. He has just been on another level, has Ernie Banks. And now Honus Wagner will stand in, try to get something going. The pitch. And that goes to Banks, who again makes the play. You don't hit a ball to Ernie Banks and expect to get one by him very often. So 2 up, 2 down as Bill Madlock stands in. He's 2 for 2 as Pierce comes set. That one's lifted out to right. It's carrying deep. Brock catches it, though, for out number 3. After 5.5, we have a 4-0 contest as Ron Santos strolls in for T-Ville. Price works. The pitch. That ball's lifted out to center. Mantle ranges under it. He makes the play. A sensational play out there from Mantle for his 7th of the season. That looked like it had double written all over it, if not more. And Mantle made one heck of a play, did he? Now up is Billy Williams, his first star of the day. He got a hit and a home run early in the 2nd inning. The pitch from Price. And that ball is blistered to 3rd. Morrison over to 1st for out number 2. Next up is Sherm Lawler, who's 0 for 2 on the day. We'll see if Price can dispatch him with this one. And indeed, he does not. Indeed, he does not. Spoke too soon there. Walk number 4 for Price. And now it's Lou Brock, the number 9 hitter, standing in. Price looks to 1st and delivers. And that's ball, walk number 5. Not what you want with the bottom of the lineup. Not what you want. Certainly not with Richie Ashburn coming up, who's 1 for 3. The pitch to Ashburn. That ball is lifted out to left, shallow. Lacey comes on and makes the catch for out number 3. After 6, it's 4-0. 4-0 T-Ville. To lead off the 7th for Hagerstown is Jim Morrison. He's 0 for 2 today. Pierce is in. He'll make the pitch. And that one's lifted out to center. Ashburn ranges under. Gloves it for out number 1. Just as quick as that, now we have Mickey Mantle standing in. He's 1 for 2. The pitch to him. And that ball is drilled Out to left and out of the ballpark. So hold the phone. Billy Pierce has been hit by Mickey Mantle for a solo shot home run, number 9 on the season for Mantle. And no great surprise there with a fantastic hitter like Mickey. He got one to handle, and he did. That was out in a hurry. It gets no easier with Hank Aaron standing in. He's 0 for 2. Pierce needs to collect himself here and settle in. The pitch. That one's lifted to right, but Brock is there, and he'll make the catch on a last-minute lunge for out number 2. Next up, we have Konechny. He's 0 for 2. Still batting .348. The pitch from Pierce. Lifted out to center field. Ashburn charges, makes the clutch on a last-minute lunge. They've really been fooled in the rain here today, the fielders, but some great plays have been made as we head to the bottom of the 7th. All right, we are right back here at the Field of Dreams, Yankee Stadium. David Price is still on the hill, still trying to collect himself after falling behind 4-0. He's at least keeping his team in it, though. It's 4-1 currently at the bottom of the 7th. Alomar stands in for T-Ville. The pitch from Price. That ball is lifted out to center. Mantle ranges back. He's there to make the catch for out number 1. Ernie Banks, the fielding sensation of the day, who has no doubt saved a lot of hits and runs, stands in at 0 for 2. The pitch from Price. And it's raining, it's pouring. We will see what happens. And that may well be it for Price. We'll see. We're going to have to see. They're going to bring in Sarmiento, Manny Sarmiento, after a prolonged rain delay. Not sure how long it was, but it is what it is. Banks stands in. The pitch. That ball is lifted out to center. Mantle is there. He has it for out number 2. And Babe Ruth, the hero of the day, he got a 3-run home run way back in the 5th inning. He's driven in 3 on the day. The pitch from Sarmiento. And that ball is looped into center. Mantle can only watch it drop as Ruth is aboard for the 2nd time. Now up it's Gehrig, and this could really go south if they're not careful here. Sarmiento works. And that ball hits the zone for strike 3, and that gets them out of the inning with a 4-1 score. T-Ville ahead. Let's see what Hagerstown can do here. Pedroia is 0 for 2. Pierce is still in. We'll see if the rain delay had any impact on him. The pitch. Lifted out to left. Ruth is under it. He makes the catch for out number 1. Tony Pena stands in. He's batting 0-42. It really is a bleak season for Tony. In 24 at-bats, he must only have less than 1 hit. Well, you can't have less than 1 hit. That's a silly thing to say, but you get the idea. He really doesn't hit. The pitch from Pierce. And that one's lifted out to center. Ashburn's under it. Out number 2. Now up it's Lee Lacy batting 200 with a hit on the day. The pitch from Pierce. That's also out to center. Ashburn glides in and makes the catch for out number 3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Sarmiento says he's fine, but he may not be after dealing with this T-ville lineup. It's really a next level lineup with Ron Santo leading off this inning. The pitch. And Santo makes him pay, and pay indeed he does. Home run number 7. Just like that. T-ville is up 5-1. That got out in a hurry. Now we have Billy Williams standing in. He's already hit a homer. And he adds on to it with a gap shot double. Heads up play by Williams. That's number 9 on the season for him. And Lawler will stand in 0 for 2 as Sarmiento may want to think about his next move here. The pitch. That one is shot into center field. A run is, they're going to hold the runner. Runners at first and third. And why wouldn't they with Lou Brock standing in? Sarmiento comes set. The pitch. After they talk it over. The crowd is not happy. And the ball is bunted. And they're going to throw to first. The run does not come home. That kind of doesn't make, well, I don't blame them there, really. The runner advanced. One man down. Richie Ashburn standing in. Here's a man who could do some damage. 1 for 4 on the day. Sarmiento works. That ball's a trickler out to Pedroia, who throws to first, and a run comes home. So they get their run anyway. It's 6-1 now with 2 men down. And Robbie Alomar is standing at the plate with Lawler at third. Sarmiento works. And that ball is out to right. Aaron camps under it, makes the catch. But it's going to be a tall order for Hagerstown here, even with Honus Wagner standing in. Billy Pierce has gone the distance to this point. The pitch to him, to Wagner, and that's lifted to left, and it is caught out in the corner, loud out, but an out. That's all that matters. Now up is Madlock, the only man who's really had much success against Pierce today. The pitch. That ball's lifted into center. Ashburn will not get there, and that ball is out of the park. Hold the phone. Home run number 2 for Bill Madlock. Just like that, it is 6-2. You can't call it quite yet. Madlock has been Hagerstown's best bat all day, even though they do have a pair of homers. So Morrison will stand in. He's 0 for 3. Pierce works. That ball is looped into right for a single, and they may get someone stirring in the bullpen here as Mickey Mantle stands in 2 for 3 on the day. The pitch from Pierce. That ball is outside. He's working himself into a jam. He's Billy Pierce. A few anxious moments. They're going to get even more so with Hank Aaron standing in. Even though he's batting 200, Aaron has the potential to really make this an interesting ballgame. The pitch from Pierce. That one's lifted high and deep to left. Ruth is under it, though, and he makes the grab for the much-needed out. Route number 2. Now if it's Konechny, and there's a big sigh of relief in the T-ville dugout, even though it is Konechny, and even though he is hitting 333, your big bats have been retired. Now all Pierce needs to do is finish it off. The pitch. And he does not. That's into the gap. One will score. So he keeps it going on a double. And maybe if you're T-ville, you may be celebrating too soon. You got 2 men on. Runners at second and third. The tying run at the plate. The Dustin Pedroia standing in. The pitch. And that is ball strike 3. Just like that. He gets out of it, this Pierce. And it is T-ville Bears 6, Hagerstown Braves 3. So we will, just like that, have a quick look at the game, at the stats here. We're gonna skip through a couple of things. Player of the game was Babe Ruth. I would agree with that for sure. Certainly, he had that big home run in the 5th inning. And watch out for T-ville, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in his division, watch out because he's going to be something. We are going to see what we're going to do here. We're going to wait for the standings to refresh. And then we are going to head back to the play screen. Maybe we will. It's getting on towards 3 o'clock here in the East. So maybe we will just actually play through here. Somebody else wants to pick up from this point on and go from there. Have at it. I think we've gone a couple hours. That first game went a little longer than what I had planned on. So we're going to finish up today and call it good. And then whoever wants it from here can take the baton and swing away, as they say. So before that happens, though, we have Amazing and Edmonton. Amazing loses to Edmonton. Edmonton gets, I think, their 5th or 6th in a row. Tomey gets the win. Rigetti the loss. 3-1 Edmonton. DiMaggio with his 8th homer. Tijuana in Brooklyn. The win goes to Brooklyn. 3-2. Perry with the win. Hughes the loss. Manouche went 2 for 3 with his 6 homer and 2 RBIs. Now it's Manchester and Washington. In that contest, Washington gets the win over Manchester. Trousseau with the win. Greinke the loss. Petco with his 2nd homer and 3 RBIs. Marshfield and Chicago. Our friends from Chicago have fallen by the wayside. They're 6-2. Schumacher with the win. Buell the loss, and Dolby went 2 for 4 with his 5th home run. Lehigh and Long Island will now play off, and it would look as though Lehigh grabs the 8-0 win. Cy Young 8-1. Pedro, I think it's Pedro Martinez 2-3, and Martinez went 2 for 4 with a pair of homers, and for his 10th on the year and 6 RBI. That's a pretty good stat line right there. Now up we now have Cleveland and Philly. Cleveland loses to Philadelphia. Philadelphia wins 3-0. Messersmith gets the win. Ayers the loss. Zenial picks up his 11th home run. Florence and Hadley Lake. We almost hesitate to see how this is going to go, but we're going to look. And sure enough, Florence gets a 10-1 win. McDermott 3-2 over Faber 0-3. Griffey Jr. picks up his 8th home run of the season and 4 RBI. So Hadley Lake may well be in early season capitulation mode, but time will tell in that respect. Now we have Dallas and the D-Gens. Dallas loses to the D-Gens, who are 23-7. They win 4-1. Douse gets the win. Ryan the loss. McGriff picks up his 4th homer. Great job by the D-Gens. They may well be the team to beat this season. Liverpool and San Fran. The win goes to Liverpool, who's now 17-15. Kershaw with the win. Steve the loss. McCovey with his 1st homer of the year. Chico's and Maplewood. The win goes to Maplewood. 8-27 Maplewood beats 16-16 Chico's. Cheney with the win. Seaver the loss. Hubbard 3 for 5 with his 4th homer and 2 RBI. Now up is Lancaster and Mid-Michigan in a rematch of a game earlier this week. And the win goes to Mid-Michigan. Lancaster falls to 19-12. Mid-Michigan 17-15. Verlander with a win. Walters the loss. Fox grabs his 11th homer and 2 RBIs. St. Pete in Vegas. And the winner is Vegas 4-1. Simmons with the win. Jenkins the loss. Goldschmidt 2 for 4 with his 7th homer and 3 RBIs on the day. Now we will exit out of that quickly and do a quick review of the standings for those who are interested in such things. Those of us in Hadley Lake certainly are not. Hagerstown and Liverpool are tied at 17 and 15 in the Earth Division. They are followed closely by Dallas and Manchester at 2 and 2.5 games, respectively. Philadelphia is also 2.5 out, and Long Island is only 3 out. In the Win Division, Lehigh has a 2.5 game lead over San Fran. Tville, somehow or other, is 7 games out. I'm not quite sure of that. They have a monster lineup and could come to life anytime. Watch out for them, I say. It is only May after all. Now Edmonton is leading in the Fire Division by a half a game over Lancaster, a half a game over Vegas, 1 game over Chicago, 1.5 over Tijuana, and 4 games over Florence. What a division that is. You could literally play any game in that division on any given night and have a very entertaining contest. Now, in the Water Division, we have Mid Michigan up 3 games over St. Pete, 3.5 over Marshfield, 4 over Brooklyn. Amazing is only out 7.5, and somehow or other, 10 and 23, worst team in the entire conference, the entire league. Hadley Lake is only 7.5 games out. So go figure that. Hadley Lake, if you're interested, is in competition for a lottery pick in the draft, which would be a fantastic thing to have happen, depending what the years are. But nonetheless, we have a lot of season to play. Hadley Lake and all the other teams have a lot of baseball left to play. So stay tuned to the Field of Dreams. As I say before I log off, somebody else will be picking this up. I will zip up the league file. We've played everything through May 12th. I know the heading on this stream says May 15th. That certainly was the intention. It's not going to be, as I have a few things to do before evening church. And give somebody else a chance. I know Aaron Reed likes to broadcast as well. Yoko, Bernie, Buckshot, Steve. We have a lot of great guys that love to broadcast. So give somebody else a chance. You've heard my voice enough today. And on that, we are going to figure out. I am going to bid you all a farewell. If anybody watched this, I'm thinking. So I guess I've had my camera on the whole show, potentially. Well, maybe not. All right. Well, I apologize. I'm looking at the messages now. See, I don't see the messages when we're broadcasting. So if I apologize. You guys have probably seen my camera the whole broadcast. I apologize for that. I hit the wrong button on streaming. I should have had that one. Apologies again. Apologies again. You probably saw. As I say, for those who don't know, there are several people, as an aside, before we leave this stream, there are several people in this league that have physical handicaps, myself being one, the blind gamer Aaron Reed being another. And it really is quite a thing to be able to broadcast these games. And unlike Aaron, I do have some sight, but I still also have to sit close to the screen in order to be able to see it. So apologies for not hitting the right button. Apologies for all of the mistakes during the games. But I hope you had a great time, and we'll see you around the old ball yard. Thank you for everybody who popped on, and we'll catch up on Discord. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.